What if I told you there's a timeless blueprint to seduction, influence, and ultimate confidence? One that's been used by kings, CEOs, master manipulators, and world leaders for centuries. And it came from a man history feared and admired, Niccolò Machiavelli. In this video, you'll discover how to seduce anyone without being fake, build unshakable confidence without arrogance, and become truly powerful, using principles from Machiavelli's legendary works, especially The Prince and the Art of War. These aren't pickup lines or ego tricks. These are time-tested tactics of psychological warfare, social control, and inner dominance. And by the end of this video, you'll walk differently, talk differently, and think like a modern-day ruler. Chapter 1. The Machiavellian Mindset. Let's start with something powerful. Machiavelli believed that life is a battlefield. Every relationship, every workplace, every conversation, whether you know it or not, someone is always trying to influence someone else. And in that world, only two types of people exist: those who control the game and those who get played. Machiavelli wasn't interested in sugarcoating life. He said things the way they really are. He understood people lie, pretend, and manipulate to survive. And if you want to win, in love, in business, in influence, you must learn how the game works. He once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." And let's be clear, this doesn't mean you have to be cruel or scary. It means you must be respected. When you speak, people should listen. When you move, people should pay attention. That's the mindset of a true leader. See, most people today are too busy trying to please everyone. They want to be liked by the crowd. But Machiavelli warned against this, because the crowd is fickle. They'll cheer for you one day and cancel you the next. That's why the Machiavellian mindset is built on one rule: never depend on anyone for your power. Build it yourself. He also believed in something very important: perception. How people see you is everything. You could be strong, smart, and talented, but if you look weak, people will treat you like you are. This is why powerful people control how they present themselves. From the way they dress to the way they speak, everything is calculated. Not fake, strategic. A real Machiavellian doesn't waste time explaining himself. He observes more than he speaks. He watches people's actions, not their words, because actions always reveal the truth. Think about this. When you walk into a room, do you try to blend in? Or do you walk in like you belong there? That's the first test. Power begins in the way you carry yourself, not with loud words, but with silent confidence. And here's a cold truth Machiavelli knew. Most people are motivated by self-interest. They will support you as long as you're useful. But the moment you become a threat, they'll turn on you. That's why he taught rulers, and now us, to always be 2 steps ahead. Never show your full hand. Stay unpredictable. The Machiavellian mindset isn't about being evil. It's about being effective. It's about knowing how to survive in a world full of manipulation without becoming a victim of it. It's about being kind but not naive, being calm but not weak, being fair but not foolish. And above all, it's about being powerful without having to raise your voice. That's the mindset Machiavelli gave to the world. And if you want to seduce, influence, and command respect, you start here. Chapter 2. Seduction is power, not romance. Seduction. When most people hear that word, they think of flirting, love, maybe even manipulation. But that's not what seduction really is. Seduction is influence. It's the ability to draw people in, to capture their attention, and to make them want to be near you, even when you haven't said a single word. And Machiavelli? He understood this better than almost anyone in history. To him, seduction wasn't just about attraction, it was about power. Social power, mental power, emotional power, the kind that makes people trust you, follow you, even fear losing your approval. And here's the secret: you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be incredibly handsome. You don't need to be some kind of smooth-talking genius. What you do need is presence. A certain kind of quiet strength. A confidence that says, I know who I am, and I don't need your validation. Let's break it down. First, Be a mystery. Don't reveal everything about yourself. Don't talk too much. Don't overshare. Most people are too eager to be liked. They say too much. They explain themselves. They try to impress. But the more you explain, the less interesting you become. Machiavelli would say, make people curious. Give them just enough to want more. Think about it. When you meet someone who's quiet, calm, but confident, you naturally want to know more. That's seduction at work. Second, use your silence. Silence is power, creates tension. It makes people lean in. Sometimes the most seductive thing you can do is say nothing at all. Look them in the eye. Hold the pause. Let your body language speak for you. In a world full of noise, your calm presence becomes magnetic. Third, control the frame. This means you decide how things go. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't rush. You lead with subtle confidence in conversation, in movement, in decision-making. When you walk into a room, you don't need to announce yourself. Your energy speaks louder than words. You speak slowly. You think before you answer. And when you do speak, it matters. That's what powerful people do. They don't compete for attention, they command it. Let me give you a real-world example. Think about someone like Marilyn Monroe, or James Bond, or even someone like Barack Obama during a speech. They don't push to get attention. They create presence. Calm, poised, in control. And that is the true essence of seduction. Now, a warning. There's a fine line between influence and manipulation. Machiavelli's teachings can be sharp, dangerous even, but the goal here isn't to play with people's emotions. It's to develop self-control so that you don't get played. True seduction is not about lying or pretending. It's about understanding what attracts people and becoming the kind of person they naturally gravitate toward. No need to trick anyone. Just master your presence. Know your value. Control your energy. And remember, people want what they can't easily have. If you're too available, too eager, too open, you lose the mystery. You lose the power. So, let's wrap this up. Seduction is about positioning. It's about energy. It's about owning the room, not by being the loudest, but by being the most centered, the most grounded, the most sure of yourself. That's how you seduce. That's how you influence. And that's how you begin to control the game without ever raising your voice. Let's move on. Chapter 3. Confidence is crafted, not born. Let's get one thing clear. Confidence is not something you're born with. Most people believe that confident people are just lucky, that they were born fearless, that they always knew what to say, that they never doubted themselves. That's a lie. Confidence isn't something magical. It's not a gift from the universe. It's a skill. Just like learning to cook, play an instrument, or speak a new language. Confidence is built with time, effort, and repetition. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He watched kings, warriors, and politicians fall apart, not because they weren't talented, but because they lacked inner strength. And what is inner strength? It's confidence under pressure. It's the ability to stay calm when the world is falling apart. It's the courage to speak when your voice shakes. Here's the truth. Confident people feel fear too. They just don't let it stop them. So how do you build unshakable confidence? Let's break it down into 3 parts. And I want you to listen carefully, because if you take this seriously, you'll start walking into rooms differently. You'll stop second-guessing yourself. And people will feel your presence before you even speak. Step 1. Control your emotions. Machiavelli believed that power belongs to the calm. The man who can stay centered while others panic, that man is in control. You want to build confidence? Learn how to slow down your reactions. When someone insults you, don't explode. When you're nervous, don't show it. Take a breath. Pause. Think. Speak with intention. The more control you have over your emotions, the more power you'll gain in every room you enter. Step 2. Master your appearance. Now, this isn't about being vain. This is about sending a message before you say a word. Dress well, not to impress others, but to remind yourself of who you are becoming. Stand straight. Speak clearly. Keep your hands still. Make eye contact. Small things, but they make a big difference. When you respect how you look, others start to respect how you think. Step 3. Practice daily risk-taking. Confidence comes from action, not from thinking about it. You have to do the thing that scares you. Every single day. Talk to that stranger. Ask for the raise. Speak up in that meeting. Say no when you mean it. Stand your ground even if your voice shakes a little. Each time you take a small risk, your brain learns something powerful. I didn't die. I handled it. I survived. And that right there is how confidence grows. Not from winning every time, but from showing up again and again. Let me give you a little secret Machiavelli would approve of. Confidence doesn't have to be real at first. Fake it. Yes, I said it. Fake it. Not to lie, not to deceive, but to give yourself a chance to practice. To act like the person you want to become. You fake courage until one day, you wake up and realize you don't need to fake it anymore. Because now it's real. Remember, no one starts out confident. Every confident man you admire, the athlete, the speaker, the leader, the legend, was once just a scared kid who decided to try anyway. Machiavelli didn't write books for cowards. He wrote for people who wanted to take control of their destiny. To rule their own world, not just survive in it. And if you want to be that kind of person, confidence is your foundation. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to be perfect. But you do need to be steady, calm, certain, even when no one claps for you, even when no one believes in you. Because real confidence is built in silence. It's built when no one's watching. And one day when the spotlight hits, you'll be ready. And they'll wonder, how did he get so confident? But you'll know the truth. You built it. Chapter 4. The Laws of Power and Social Control. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and felt who had the power? No words were spoken, but the energy was clear. One person controlled the room without shouting, without showing off. That's not luck. That's not personality. That is power. Real, silent, unshakable power. Machiavelli understood something most people never do. Power is not about force. It's about control. Control over perception, over behavior, and most importantly, over yourself. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to share with you are the timeless laws of power that work anywhere. In your job, your relationships, and in society. And when you use them right, people won't just listen to you. They'll follow you. They'll respect you. Some will fear you. Let's begin. Law 1. Always say less than necessary. In today's world, people love to talk. They overshare, over-explain, and overcommit. But the person who speaks less holds the power. Why? Because mystery creates authority. When you talk too much, you reveal your plans, your weaknesses, and your emotions. But when you're calm, measured, and silent, people lean in. They wonder what you're thinking, and that's when they start reacting to you, instead of the other way around. Law 2. Appear noble, act strategic. Machiavelli warned us, people don't want the truth. They want an image. So always look kind, appear generous, be helpful in public. But behind closed doors, you plan, you calculate, you move with precision. Why? Because in this world, those who are purely good get eaten alive. And those who are purely ruthless get destroyed eventually. But the one who looks good and thinks strategically wins every time. This is why the best leaders smile in the spotlight, but move like chess players in the dark. Law 3. Control the narrative. In the age of social media, whoever tells the story wins. Machiavelli knew this long before Instagram ever existed. He said, "A prince must always appear to be just, even if he is not." Let that sink in. It means, how people see you matters more than who you are. So protect your image. Build your reputation like a castle. Because once people doubt your strength, you'll spend a lifetime trying to get it back. Never let others define you. Control the narrative. Tell your own story. Law 4. Choose your enemies carefully. You don't have to fight everyone. You don't have to prove yourself to every critic. But when you do decide to face someone, don't go halfway. Don't slap the snake. Cut off the head. Machiavelli said, Injuries should be done all at once, so that their impact is felt strongly. Because if you leave your enemies alive, they will regroup. They will come back stronger, and they'll learn your weaknesses. So be decisive. Be clear. If you must eliminate a threat, do it once, do it right, and don't look back. Law 5. Reward loyalty, punish betrayal. People around you are watching. Always. When someone stands by you, supports you, defends you, reward them publicly. This creates loyalty, and people will rise for you. But when someone betrays you, never ignore it. Never excuse it. Punish betrayal quickly and visibly. Why? Because if you don't, you're telling the world it's okay to disrespect you. You're not just punishing one person. You're sending a message to everyone else. Don't cross this line. And that builds power without saying a word. Law 6. Build alliances, not friendships. In Machiavelli's world, and in ours, friendships are based on emotion. But alliances are based on purpose. Don't surround yourself with people just because you like them. Surround yourself with people who elevate you, who bring access, information, and protection. An alliance is mutual power. A friendship? Sometimes, it's just shared weakness. So be kind to everyone, but be close to those who help you grow. This is how modern kings are built. Law 7. Always stay one step ahead. And finally, never get too comfortable. The world is always moving. People are always watching. And the minute you stop thinking ahead, you fall behind. Machiavelli believed in preparation. He said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." So always be learning, studying, listening. Play the long game. Don't react, predict. Don't follow, strategize. Because power is not a moment, it's a mindset. Now listen closely. If you start living by these laws, people will treat you differently. They'll take you seriously. They'll come to you for decisions, for advice, for leadership. And here's the secret. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't need to show off. You just need to understand how power flows and step into it. That's how you control a room. That's how you influence without effort. That's how you become powerful, without ever needing to prove it. Chapter 5. Becoming a modern prince. Let me ask you something. What does it really mean to become a prince in today's world? Not royalty, not a fairy tale. I'm talking about a modern-day ruler. A person who moves with purpose, speaks with calm control, and walks into any room with invisible power wrapped around them like armor. That kind of person doesn't wait for life to happen. They shape life with their decisions. They don't just react, they design outcomes. And this is exactly what Machiavelli meant when he described the qualities of a great prince. So how do you become one? Let's break it down step by step. First, build your inner fortress. Machiavelli said every ruler needs a stronghold. In today's world, your stronghold is your mind. If people can get inside your head easily, they can control you. So protect your peace. That means setting boundaries, saying no without guilt, not reacting emotionally every time someone tries to push your buttons. A modern prince is not quick to anger. He watches, he listens, he chooses when to strike and when to stay silent. Second, master your emotions before they master you. Confidence isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about not letting those emotions control your actions. The moment you stop chasing approval, you start becoming powerful. Practice this every day. Control your tone. Speak slower. Breathe before you respond. These small habits create a massive presence. People feel it and they respect it. Third, become socially strategic. A prince surrounds himself with the right allies. In your life, that means choosing friends, mentors, and even romantic partners who support your growth, not your destruction. You don't need a crowd. You need a circle of strength. Spend more time observing people. Watch how they treat others when they think no one's watching. Pay attention to patterns, not promises. The modern prince knows this. Loyalty is rare, but once found, it's priceless. Fourth, develop what I call low-key dominance. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to win every argument. The most powerful people walk away because they don't fight for attention. They own the moment with silence, with body language, with clarity. Low-key dominance means you carry strength quietly. People feel it before you speak. Fifth, embrace your shadow. Every strong person has a dark side: jealousy, anger, ego, control. The weak ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. The modern prince faces it. He understands it. He uses it without being consumed by it. This is called shadow work. It's not about becoming ruthless. It's about becoming real. When you know what you're capable of, you don't need to prove it to anyone. You become calm, controlled, unshakable. Lastly, have a mission bigger than yourself. A prince without purpose becomes a tyrant. But a prince with purpose becomes a legend. What do you stand for? What impact will you leave behind? This isn't about fake power. It's about true influence, the kind that changes people, that builds empires that last. Your life can either be a random story or a well-written legacy. You don't have to be born rich. You don't have to be born with looks or fame or connections. But if you build your mind, master your emotions, choose your allies wisely, and walk through the world with calm power, then you become the modern prince. And once you reach that level, people don't just follow you. They trust you, they respect you, and most importantly, they never forget you. Final chapter: use your power, but with wisdom. So now you've learned how to seduce anyone with presence, how to build the kind of confidence that doesn't shake, and how to walk with real power. But here's the final test. The real challenge isn't just gaining power, it's knowing what to do once you have it. Because anyone can chase power, but few know how to carry it without letting it crush their soul. The truth is, power is like fire. In the right hands, it gives warmth. In the wrong hands, it burns everything down. You don't need to dominate every person in the room. You don't need to prove you're the smartest, the richest, or the strongest. That's not strength. That's insecurity pretending to be confidence. Real power is quiet, calm, unshaken. It's in the man who listens more than he talks. It's in the woman who doesn't need to be loud to be respected. It's in the leader who could destroy, but chooses to build. You see, Machiavelli never said to be ruthless for no reason. He said be strategic, be wise, be the lion and the fox. That means know when to roar and when to disappear in silence. Power is not about hurting people. It's about knowing how to protect yourself from being used, disrespected, or destroyed. It's about setting the rules of the game and knowing exactly when to bend them or break them. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. The moment you become powerful, people will test you. Some will envy you. Some will fear you. Some will try to pull you back to their level. That's when you must stay rooted. Stay calm. Stay focused. Don't react. Don't explain. Don't waste your breath. Because the most powerful person in the room is the one who doesn't need the room to know. When you speak, make every word count. When you move, move with intent. When you lead, lead with clarity. And when you walk away, do it with dignity. Remember this: power without control is just chaos. Power without purpose is just noise. And power without wisdom? That's a short road to destruction. The men who changed the world, they weren't perfect. But they knew this one truth. Power used to lift yourself is success. Power used to lift others is legacy. So what kind of power will you build? Will you be the loudest in the room? Or will you be the one they look to when everything falls apart? The choice is yours. Be feared when you must. Be respected always. But above all, be wise enough to know when to use your power and when to hold it back. That is the final level. That's how you become not just powerful, but untouchable. If you found these ideas helpful and want to take your confidence and power to the next level, please hit the like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this that dig deep into real strategies for success and influence. I'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment below and tell me which Machiavellian lesson you're going to use first in your life. Also, be sure to check out the next video on the channel, where we explore how to master your emotions like the great Stoics did. Remember, Real power starts with the choices you make today. So take control, stay focused, and keep growing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.